Hi, and thanks for joining us for another edition of PACTV Community News. Tonight, we bring you to a high school auditorium dedication in Kingston.
Rich was a wonderful principal and a great role model for all of us.
And we'll take you to a carbon monoxide detector handout in Plymouth.
Fire departments are now responding several times a week to failed CO alarms that need replacement.
As we enter into this winter season, we wanted to bring you information on what to do in a storm emergency. Tonight, we look at stories from a 911 dispatcher in Duxbury.
And that's what I try to keep in mind with staying calm, and it could be the worst day of their life, is that somebody's loved one, you know.
Police and fire officials from Pembroke.
If they're getting generators at home, and a lot of people have, to make sure that they're wired correctly.
And get some safety tips from National Grid.
Any wire down, you consider it live.
PACTV Community News takes you to an art show in Boston and previews another art show in Duxbury.
Town Talk this week is from Pembroke. That and more is featured on This Week during PACTV Community News. Silver Lake High School's longtime principal, Richard Kelly, was admired by his staff and loved by his students. Last month, the school's auditorium was dedicated to Richard Kelly, and PACTV Community News was there to bring you these highlights.
Hi, Linda. Good, how are you?
All right. I'm John Tuffy. I'm the superintendent of schools here at Silver Lake. And tonight we've dedicated the auditorium to Rich Kelly. Rich Kelly retired as principal this last June, but before that he'd been here in the district for quite a number of years and one of the longest serving principals we've ever had. Rich was a wonderful principal and a great role model for all of us.
Pretty big shoes to fill. Yeah, Rich Kelly, you know, was very important to Silver Lake, and it meant a lot to him to work here. He was here for over 30 years, almost like an institution. You know, he did a lot while he worked at Silver Lake. He started a lot of programs. He really brought it to the next level, and I feel as though I got to work with him for 7 years as an assistant principal, so I got the best tutelage there was, and moving up to his ranks now, I'll never really be able to fill his shoes, but I'll be able to maybe take the school to the next level, and that's what we're always trying to do.
We're really excited this evening to be honoring Richard Kelly, who has served Silver Lake Regional Schools in a number of different capacities as a teacher and a guidance counselor, assistant principal, and then of course most recently as principal. And he means a lot to all of the students here as well as to the staff, and I think this is a great honor and a very fitting honor for such a wonderful man.
This is a very humbling experience. In all my years in education, 32 years here at Silver Lake and 6 before that in Weymouth, I just can't think of an honor that is more appreciated than this. I know that it's so nice to know that the community and the school and the teachers and administration and everybody are appreciative of the efforts that I put in here at Silver Lake, and I loved every minute of it. You know, Confucius was a smart man, but he said, if you love your job, you'll never work a day in your life, and I'm fortunate enough that that was me.
When plans for Duxbury's new fire station were developed, a state-of-the-art emergency management facility was included in the design. The facility has been operating for the last 8 months, and this week we got a tour and heard from the town's fire captain as well as one of Duxbury's public safety dispatchers about the best way to make an emergency call.
911 recorder line, where is your emergency? Our dispatch center moved to the fire station 8 months ago. So upstairs on the second floor, we dispatch for fire, police, and also the ambulance, which is out of the fire station. We have a state-of-the-art dispatch center. We have weather monitoring, we have weather stations. We have radios that can talk to all surrounding communities and get mutual aid if we need it. Duxbury Fire Alarm dispatching medical call. 155 Mayflower Street, police station.
walk-in medical for vision problems. This screen here is how you operate the 911. We have 4 different lines at once, 4 landlines, 4 cell phone lines, 2 emergency lines, 2 administrative lines. Every one of these green blocks is a town fire department I could talk to directly from this radio. We can talk to police, fire, DPW, harbor master. We can talk directly to other towns. We can talk to Plymouth County Control, which has many resources available. We have what's called a CAD system, which gives us an up-to-date where everybody is, what's happening in the town. So if we have multiple incidents going on, we have it right in front of us. We can see who's where, doing what. We can run motor vehicles, warrants, so we can check people from other states if we have to. Duxbury Fire Alarm Dispatching, outside investigation in the area of Union Bridge Road for a tree blocking the road.
When someone dials 911, that call actually goes to the state police in Framingham. When the state police get it, they'll ask where your emergency is. That's the biggest question they're going to ask. And then from there, they can say, stand by, we're going to transfer you to Duxbury. That's when our 911 dispatchers get it. When you call our dispatch center, 2 dispatchers are answering. One is going to be on the lead. They're going to ask you questions. The second one's going to listen and dispatch help.
There are 2 of us here. You can't tell because one person takes the lead on the phone, the other takes the lead on the radio. So while you're calling, we're dispatching it out. So a lot of time people get, obviously it could be a real bad situation for them, so they expect the ambulance to be right there, and why aren't you dispatching it now, and get them going. So while I'm talking to you on the phone, my partner will be in the background dispatching the ambulance, and everything we're talking about on the phone gets updated as we go. So we'll keep you on the phone for a while until they get there to keep getting every update we can.
In the last year, things have changed with 911. We now offer EMD, which is emergency medical dispatch. So when someone calls and their loved one is down on the ground, maybe not breathing, our dispatchers are going to offer advice and directions of what they should do for that person. The dispatcher is like the head of the orchestra.
It's kind of like you're the first one on scene without actually being there. So say there's a domestic call or something, you kind of paint the picture for everybody responding. You have to find out if there's weapons, if somebody's hurt.
Some people might not realize how intense a dispatcher's job is and how much they have to actually coordinate. They'll take a 911 call, you can be getting a business call at the same time, and they need to dispatch fire, police on separate radios. They need to get the ambulance there. They might need to get DPW because a tree's come down and they need to access that road. So they're listening and dispatching, talking on 2 phones. It's a crazy job.
So you kind of set the tone, and if especially your demeanor helps them, if you come off calm, even if it's a major issue, a major call, they'll still be calm going in. And if it's the opposite, maybe if it's a minor call and you're all riled up, that gets them riled up. So there's a lot that goes into it just from the sound of your voice.
For a while, but they need to round A1
Fire alarm received A1 in quarters at 10:44.
36.
The best thing for someone to do when they call 911 is to stay calm, first of all. And it's a big deal, obviously, but the calmer you stay, the more focused you'll be, and you can understand what we're trying to ask you.
When you call 911 and you start to answer some of the questions the dispatchers ask you, they're going to continue to ask you more questions that might be medically related if it's a medical emergency, and they're going to offer you advice on that. And the questions might keep going on or feel like that because you're in the middle of an emergency. But rest assured, the other dispatcher has already dispatched help. We try to get help out the door within 20 seconds of your call.
Time can be of the essence. This could be a life-threatening thing in some instances, and you got to get the right information right then so we can get them out the door. So that way the fire department knows they can prepare the next step if they need to. Whatever equipment they need, medication is already ready to go. So when they get there, they can just implement it right away. The most rewarding thing for me is helping people. Whether it's on 911, you make sure they got the help that they needed. That's their loved one. And that's what I try to keep in mind with staying calm, and it could be the worst day of their life, is that's somebody's loved one. But at the same time, too, we do the same thing for the other people on the radio, police and fire. These are people we work with day in, day out, and there's certain scenarios where they could get hurt. So I think that's the most rewarding thing for me, is making sure that they go home safe to their families.
The Commonwealth of Massachusetts Executive Office of Public Safety and Security hosted their annual Carbon Monoxide Awareness and Detector Giveaway Day at Plymouth's Council on Aging last week. This event was sparked by a tragedy in Plymouth in 2005 that led to national legislation and standards for carbon monoxide detectors in homes and other buildings. Our local legislators were given leadership awards for their work, and PACTV Community News was there at the ceremony.
Back several years ago, a tragedy occurred here in the town of Plymouth with the loss of a life of a young child, Nicole Garofalo. And it was on the heels of that tragedy that the Senate President, Representative DiMacedo, and others came together and supported legislation, which is now law, that requires us to have carbon monoxide detectors in our home.
Senate President Therese Murray and Representative Vinnie DiMacedo have been our champions at the State House. Together, they have sponsored Nicole's Law. The law inspired similar legislation in nearly 20 other states, and there's no doubt it continues to save lives today.
I know it was a big challenge to get this piece of legislation passed, but I'm convinced many years since it's passed that it's made a difference in people's lives.
This horrific tragedy made us determine that no other family would have to go through this, and we would work to ensure that every home had a working CO alarm.
We were able to put together a piece of legislation that made sense, that keep people safe, that is responsible, it was rational and affordable. It's a very small price to pay for somebody's safety.
Fire departments are now responding several times a week to failed CO alarms that need replacement. We are here today to tell the public to beat the beep. Alarms that are ending their life expectancy will make a beeping noise every 30 seconds. Replacing the battery won't stop the noise, and when the beeping stops, the alarm is no longer working. It is critical to replace your alarm before it stops working.
Carbon monoxide is known as the silent killer. It's colorless, it's tasteless, it's odorless. And in early stages, it has flu-like symptoms. So what do you do when you have the flu? You lay down on the couch, take a couple aspirin, hope you're going to feel better. Absolutely the opposite of what you need to do if you're affected by carbon monoxide poisoning.
This event is all about safety and education and getting information out to the public about the importance of carbon monoxide detection, what you can do to protect yourselves and your families.
Today's a great event. We have all these fire chiefs here with us to talk to you about the importance of having one in your home.
We have some plaques to give to a state representative and the Senate President for their commitment to helping us with pass this legislation and help educate the public on the safety and the need for carbon monoxide detector alarms in the building. KIDA is also here from today, and they have some carbon monoxide detectors that they have donated that the Senate President will give away.
We're giving out free detectors today. These are the new ones. They last 10 years.
The Senator and Representative passed countless important pieces of legislation in their careers, but we stand here today to say that one particular law has had a huge impact and helped thousands, not just in Massachusetts, but in all the other states who followed our example.
This law has saved many lives because today, when carbon monoxide becomes a problem in a home, those alarms sound and we get to fresh air. We call the fire department. We're safe.
The town of Pembroke is well prepared for storm emergencies and power outages. The town offers day and overnight shelters located in the public library and Council on Aging facilities. PACTV Community News met up with representatives from the police and fire departments to learn more.
One of the messages we really want to get out is for people to be safe. And what do they do when they have a power outage? Now, the normal reaction is as soon as the power goes out, they call the police department. Well, what we want them to do is just take a quick look outside without going outside to see if it's their line in particular that's down. And if it is, give us a call. Stay away from it. It's dangerous. And we'll send somebody down to check it out. But also call National Grid. Let them know that your power's out. If you look outside and it's not yours, it may be your whole neighborhood, it may be the whole town, you need to contact the National Grid. The number is 1-800-322-3223. They need to know. They need to plot that out. They need to know whose houses are out, whose neighborhoods are out, what part of town's out, so that they can better get their work crews dispatched to the areas that we need them. Any public safety issues, you want to call. If it's an emergency, call 911. If you got wires down and there's an issue with, somebody in danger, trapped in a car or something, please call us. That's what 911 is for. If it's just that your power's out, please call National Grid, let them know, and we'll do the same. If you call us, we're going to have you call National Grid, but we're also going to make that phone call.
Well, we've worked together actually with all the other departments to try to promote a better cohesive response on a town-wide basis. I think we made great strides last year during all the experiences we had, which seemed to be weekly. And I think in Pembroke, very proudly, we don't operate as single departments. We operate as one response to the emergency.
So working with the communities, the police chiefs and fire chiefs or the local emergency management teams within those communities, they help us set those priorities. What's most important, whether a road's blocked or trees down or a certain building needs power, we work very closely with them to restore that.
And we're trying to get the town better prepared for an emergency. We've secured cots. We're working on making the library the shelter, the cooling and the heating area if there is power outages during the summer or during the winter. The Council of Aging has a generator now so that if we need a short-term shelter for up to 25 people, we can do that. And again, we want people to prepare themselves. If they're getting generators at home, and a lot of people have, to make sure that they're wired correctly, that they understand how they work, and that when they use them, they're not backfeeding the system and putting the utility workers and the police and the fire workers in jeopardy by powering up their lines through the house. They should talk to an electrician to make sure it's done right. So we are making some progress, and we're asking people to take care, to write the phone numbers down by their phone so that in the dark they're not looking for them, and they need to make those calls. We need to know where the power's out so that we can better deal with it.
The emergency management people are going to set up shelters when needed at the library, and we will have employees there who will be keeping track of the emergencies, of the responses, the needs, the inventory, the coming and going, if you will, of people and supplies, so that everyone is taken care of in a timely fashion.
Pembroke also has an emergency management team, or PEMA, in place that will help keep residents informed. The town's website includes alerts from PEMA and the Massachusetts Emergency Management Agency. You can follow PEMA at Twitter, or you can sign up for email notifications using the school's website. Also, residents can listen to the radio station WATD for cancellations and shelter updates.
In snow and ice storms, power lines can easily come down, creating a dangerous situation. National Grid visited Pembroke this month and offered first responders a demonstration about safety during heavy storms and power outages.
The demonstration will show what will be a spark, and it's actually energizing the aluminum ladder. And again, we're talking on this demonstration, it's only broken down about 4,000 volts. In the real world, running along the streets, it would be 8,000 volts coming in. These gentlemen have trained. They range from 9 years to 28 years in the field. You can see from different things they actually have gloves that are tested every day, an air test. They are using the proper tools to go away. And this trailer was actually built by National Grid so we can perform this type of demonstration. If you were actually going out and touch the fence that was energized, which is a key component, that if you see any wire down, you consider it live. That is our mantra when we respond to any type of incident. And this is again why we're doing this type of training with the Pembroke Fire and the Pembroke Police Department, as well as the Department of Public Works. It's great partnerships that we're doing with Chief Wall and Chief Neenan's group from that degree, and this is something we're bringing along to all of our territories as we try to further build that partnership. So this second step kind of demonstrates, this is a leather glove that we'll be using against the fence. People think that might protect you as well going through. But as you can see now, even with the leather glove, it certainly demonstrates what would happen. That is why the gentleman that is actually utilizing that pole has on 2 different types of gloves for an installation. And again, that equipment tested daily in terms of making sure there's not a small little pinhole or anything along that line, because that's the importance of trying to be safe from doing that.
Duxbury's annual Holiday Arts and Crafts Fair is slated for the town's high school next month. Young artists create their own designs and will sell them at the fair on Saturday, December 7th from 10 to 3. Last year's event included 63 craft tables featuring art and crafts from 14 towns and 2 states, with over 1,000 shoppers vying for these one-of-a-kind handmade gifts. A portion of the proceeds will go to fund a new scholarship for Duxbury High School students with Asperger's syndrome. For more information and entry forms, email Lisa DeVista or find Duxbury's Holiday Arts and Crafts Fair on Facebook. Massachusetts State Representative Josh Cutler held his inaugural 6th Plymouth District Student Art Show at the State House in Boston this month. It featured works by high school students from Pembroke, Duxbury, and Hanson. PACTV Community News visited the event and viewed the artwork.
There we go.
I want honorable mention. Yeah. I didn't think about it really. My parents were like, hey, we should enter you in this contest. I was like, oh, sure, why not? Got a frame and everything. Got a hang on. Pretty nice.
Hi, folks, are you here for art show? Yeah. Oh, great.
So I'm here with Jackson Haley, who's a Pembroke senior, and Jackson entered 3 pieces in the show, and the judges really loved his work, and we're standing next to the photography entry, which won first place in our photo category. You want to tell us a little bit about it?
It was just something I decided to do. I was bored and alone on a Friday night, so I went out and messed around with my camera and some shutter speeds and a tripod and got some interesting results out of it.
Well, we hope you get bored more often then. Great job.
they all studied it and wanted to kind of look at it closely. Thought it was
That is so cool.
Yeah.
I just copied it from a drawing, from a picture actually, so.
How did you do it?
It's called sketchboard. You use a knife kind of tool. It's a skeptic pencil, I think it's called.
It's my sister, and it's in pastel, and it was really fun to, draw my sister. Looking around, I see a lot of wonderful pieces of art, and I have a lot of people here who've got really good pieces and very talented.
So I want a big round of applause for all of our artists. Great job.
So we have some great works of art here at our 6th Plymouth District Student Art Show, and I have one of the award-winning artists with me right here, Olivia, whose Dark Clown, if you can see that, was 2nd place winner in the painting category. Any comments, Olivia?
It's pretty cool.
So your art is going to be hung here in Doric Hall, here at the State House, where thousands of people every week come in and go through the historic building. That's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
Well done.
Thank you. Thank you.
Reporting live from Doric Hall in the State House, I'm Josh Cutler. Back to you.
Well, hello there again. This is Ed Thorne, Town Administrator in Pembroke, and it's our weekly chat to let you know what we're up to townwide regarding projects and the town meeting that will have been held on Tuesday, November the 12th. Right now, we're being able to take care of a couple of outdoor projects. As we speak, the contractor is working on putting in a new drainage system and resodding the town green. So we're hoping that This activity this late fall and early winter will allow it to settle in, and that by spring and early summer we'll have a brand new town green to have fun with at all our various events that we have there. Also, we're doing with some renovations to both the police station and town hall to kind of spruce up the foliage that we have in and around the area and around the animal pond that was recently funded by a Springtown meeting that we invite citizens to come visit. That was dedicated back in 1907. We've kind of cleaned it up, and we're going to, we've had some flowers planted, bulbs planted. So we'll see that in the spring as well, and we've done some work around Town Hall. We've done some handicap accessible activities over at the Birch Street Playground. And then we are going to be putting together a grant to go to DEP to try to solve the drainage situation at Little Sandy Pond on Woodbine Avenue. I know that that's a major concern for the residents and with our town landing swim programs down there. So we're hoping that that application goes through DEP, and we're looking for successful funding in the spring. But it's a badly needed project, and we're hoping to get support from our legislative delegation and state senator. Also, as a result of Tuesday's town meeting, we believe that there'll be a vote to extend our solid waste disposal contract with either CMAS or ABC Disposal. And this is going to have a far-ranging effect to the citizens in this town. It won't interfere with the curbside trash or recycling pickup, but with a lower trash disposal fee, we believe that in a year from now that we would be able to see a reduction in the trash fee that we require of our citizens. So that's the game plan for that particular program, and we're hoping that the town meeting will have voted to extend and have a new contract with either CMS or ABC for an additional 5 to 10 to 20 years, and that'll lock us in with a lower rate than what we're paying currently. So hopefully that the town meeting will have gone the way we wanted it to balance the budget and to include some small capital improvements that we have planned. So anyway, for this week, this is Ed Thorne signing off. Thank you very much.
Thanks for watching this week's edition of PACTV Community News. Replay times are listed on our website, pactv.org. Click on the PCN logo to watch individual stories or an entire program.
See us on YouTube by searching for the PACTV Community News channel. And like us on Facebook to receive previews each week and links to all our stories.
We're planning stories for the new year, so send your ideas to me, Kim, at pactv.org. Tell us what you'd like to see in 2014.
And be sure to catch us next week on PACTV Community News.